Hey, good morning from the office. I am your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show, 8:01 this morning, up until 1 o'clock a.m. Still don't have all the election results. Brad Raffensperger, to all, let me open the show to all my Democrat friends, I say that, right, that tune in every morning hoping it'll be a day like today when I say a Republican may have been there may be a disaster and Republicans involved. You know, you just love it and you're sitting on it. Brad Raffensperger. But let me say first, number 81, right out of the box there. Good morning, Destiny. Good morning, everybody. Right out of the box, Kevin Tanner. Nice guy. I like the guy. I call him a friend. But it looks like he will be a full-time chicken farmer for a little while over there in Dawson County. He was, because that will end this year. So he is currently the Georgia State House of Representatives District 9, which he gave up to run for the 9th Congressional District. And he came in third. So let's put that up really quick. 9th Congressional District last night, third, number 1. And he got 16% right now. We don't know if every single vote is counted. No, nobody knows in Georgia if every single vote is counted. We will get into the Raffensperger Secretary of State. Don't believe the hype that this is just Atlanta. Brad Raffensperger, Republican, you got to hear that, Secretary of State of Georgia, last night, his plan to every county in the state of Georgia, 159, is it? Even counting Glasgow for Stacey Abrams, whatever. His plan last night is give them, the Democrats, anything they want. Anything. Give it to them. I will show you. I will prove it. Now, we're not DeKalb County. Oh, let me get back to these vote counts. And Kevin Tanner came in third behind Matt Gertler. I know why Matt Gertler is in the runoff today. Andrew Clyde, number 2 there. Mild-mannered Andrew Clyde. Now, I've met him. Nice guy, but he's number 2. Tanner's number 3. Has Tanner felt did he get the Nathan Deal curse? Is that what he got? The Nathan Deal, former Georgia Governor Nathan Deal endorsement curse. Is that what he got? Did he get the pay me big money political consultant curse? I'm going to tell you now. Let me give you this little piece of information. For those out there that could be watching that are running for office or plan to run for office, to pay the powerful political consulting groups, which Tanner did, to raise money and help steer his campaign, help buy his advertising or your advertising, and then run and get the endorsement. Look, I'm going to get moving on here, but when he called me one day and he said, I've got really big news. Okay, what is it? I'm being endorsed by Governor Nathan Deal. Now, this is not a Governor Nathan Deal bashing session. I just thought to myself, oh my God, why are you doing that? He couldn't get Casey Cagle across the line. He hasn't won. He hasn't won an election outside of his own where you got like the Chamber of Commerce down there in Atlanta. People like that. He hasn't won an election outside of his own in the 9th district in a long, long time. So anyhow, that is last night, and we will get into that. We already have. Now, I know they were up late, so I'm not passing any judgment, but Andrew Clyde's already agreed to be on. He's already agreed to be on the show tomorrow. So we will look at that a little deeper. This is number 82, Matt Gertler. Okay, he's listed on some things, number 82, Matt Gertler. He leads right now in the vote count for the 9th Congressional District to replace Doug Collins. And then we have number 83. 83 is Andrew Clyde. And we will talk about that a little later. But I'm going to tell you this, okay? The Georgia, if you're out there nationally, I did get a couple text messages out of state last night about Georgia, and we're going to break it down, not the national news. We'll leave the national news out of this, but it played perfectly into it. Now, I will get into, go ahead and take that down and give me back number 1 just to show the results there in the 9th Congressional District. I will we'll break this down, okay? And I won't spend too much time on, we've talked about it on the show, okay? Last night, now you think about it. When I say, first of all, you know me by now, I say first of all 9 times. I want to thank the FYN News Department staff. I want to thank our chief editor, Lauren Souther, and the head of our news department, and about 6 others for, don't take this wrong, attempting to get election results last night. Total disaster across the state. First of all, the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, give me a number 19, the AJC there, and let's start breaking this down. And I want to get this out inside the production room there. I want to get this stuff out immediately and get it named properly, and get other people involved if you need any kind of help in there, because complete meltdown. All right. Election results last night. So I called the Secretary of State. Now, in the past, our former Secretary of State, which is now our governor, had an election result live website ready to go. Okay. And he had a live website, that's Brian Kemp, and you could go on there about 6:30 and that website would be launched because polls close at 7. Now, there wouldn't be any data on it, but the website, easy to use, easy to find. You could click on the color of your county, go there. You had a bar for statewide. I mean, it actually was very good. So why Brad Raffensperger felt he had to fix the state website, I don't know. Because as somebody, as you well know, that has been very critical of some things as Governor Brian Kemp, Secretary of State Brian Kemp, when it came to elections, what happens out there, folks? People saying, where's the results? Let me explain to you how results come in. It's real simple. If you got 12 precincts in your county, each one at the precinct downloads their data. Once they download the data, they have to physically bring it in and sign it off and hand it in. When they hand it in, somebody in the election office of your county validates it, checks it, and then they enter it into the Secretary of State's website. Once they enter it into the Secretary of State's website, they then come out and give those numbers to the public. So before, with Brian Kemp as Secretary of State, you could go to the Secretary of State website and you could get them in real time as precincts entered in. You could get them in real time as fast as being at the election office yourself. It really worked well. So last night, when I'm looking for the website, so I called the Secretary of State's office, okay, and trust me, give me number 18. Look who's involved this morning, and nationally they are coming after us. Okay. So last night, yesterday afternoon, I set up for my election, cheap cigar, coffee, whatever, everything. I set everything up for my election night results. And I'm not seeing anything on Secretary of State's website around 6 o'clock. I called the press office. Okay. I called the press office. Hey, where's the website? Well, it'll be up soon. When is soon? Well, in a little bit. Okay, when is a little bit? When is soon? When's the general time? Well, no results. And as you've seen everywhere last night, we posted no results will be published on the Secretary of State's website, okay, until the last county, last precinct in the state of Georgia has closed, which would happen to be DeKalb, at 10 after 10 p.m. last night. What that did is that left the AJC, New York Times, Fetcher News, radio stations, Voice of the Mountain 95. It don't matter who you are. I text somebody on a radio station and said, how are you getting them last night? It didn't matter who you are. That left you, your network, to try to get counties to answer the phone, rural counties to answer the phone and read you the results over the phone. A total state disaster. Don't look at Atlanta. Now, I'm going to tell you something else. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into what happened. Remember, as we go on this morning, I've told you in the past, November will be too close to call. November will be a national election disaster that is pre-planned by people like the woman on the screen. That's my opinion now. And Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State, walked right into it and kissed some Democrat ass. Yes, Brad Raffensperger kissed Democrats' ass this past year, Secretary of State, by just saying whatever you want. He made a deal with the Democrats. Remember that? On absentee ballots? Everybody in the state got an application for an absentee ballot. Oh, wait for the reporting on that. Then how about this jungle primary that he had an opportunity to put a stop to? Wait till November and our 10 candidates over there in the jungle primary across the state, and you've got Democrat lawsuits against Republicans and Republicans against Republicans and whatever. Jungle primary. And then last night, his opportunity. Now, the number one thing I'm hearing across the state from many I talk to, lack of training, lack of just actually Brad Raffensperger getting in there, rolling up his sleeves and getting into these counties. Now, him coming out and saying he's launching an investigation into the counties. Let me show you something. That is bull, SH asterisk asterisk. Now, we have been covering elections, okay? Now, somebody will probably text me or somebody will probably put a message up and say, on this date, this happened. My opinion is, and it hasn't been said, that Raffensperger's office, Secretary of State, is my opinion, sent out some kind of communication that we ought to get a hold of that said anything they want. If you turn on a machine and it doesn't operate for 5 minutes, add 5 minutes at the end of the day. Just do anything you want. Make them happy. We don't want them arguing. We throw in the towel. We wave the white flag. Where has that been happening? In our 11th year, and really in depth covering politics and elections. This is the first I've ever seen. Let's go to the tape. Gilmer County, Georgia, number 57. Okay, let's go to number 57. Okay. And number 57 there, according to elections manager and chief registrar Tammy Watkins, which I like Tammy, very nice person, shared that the order saying they will hold Big Creek open until 7:20, Boardtown open until 7:15, Cartacay open until 7:05, Cherry Log open until 7:15, South Ellijay open until 7:30, Tails Creek open until 7:30. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 precincts. I don't know if they have 12. 6 precincts, even though 7:05, that were held over and didn't close until 7:30. Now, if you think, forget Atlanta for a minute. If you think this happened in Gilmer County, Georgia, okay? Now, last I can remember, every election I ever covered, the machines came on at 7, went off at 7. Election results started in about 8:05. Not even loaded on the website. There are counties all across this state that the Secretary of State this morning still does not have all the numbers loaded. Okay? That's Gilmer. All right? Let's go to another one. Let's go to Fannin County. And these are not the local offices, okay? 58, number 58. Throw that one up there. Fannin County voters, please be aware that due to technical difficulties, this is not the cab, Jack. This is Fannin County. Due to technical difficulties that occurred in opening selected polls, the following polling precincts will be open until Flint Hill, 7:23. How'd they pick 7:23? Fair Play, 7:45. Almost 45 minutes added. Mineral Bluff, 7:15. Natula, 7:10. Sugar Creek, 7:30. Never seen it, folks. Never seen it. Now, I do understand the old voting machines that the voters in Georgia, okay, said it was done, is over, the old die bolt system or whatever it was. We want rid of them. We want new machines. Now, yesterday morning at a small precinct in Fannin County, okay, precincts in Gilmer County, the machines were working very well yesterday morning. Why, you just went over and you got your paper, and I had people say when the paper came out, they enjoyed the opportunity to get to flip and look at it, and then they put it in the scanner. And what I could tell, now we'll start seeing around the state today if there's any flaws in that, in the actual machine. It didn't work too bad. But as you well know, okay, a disaster in vote reporting, it scares the hell out of me for November. And yes, Brad Raffensperger's a Republican. What the hell are we supposed to do? I hope he doesn't try to say that he's going to fix and correct things by November. Hopefully, the test run. I hope this is disaster part 1. In November, part 2 goes much better. But I have a fear of that. MSNBC, number 79. I think is this guy the new CEO of MSNBC? Number 79. Did I send 79? I might not have. Is that okay? Thanks. I sent them all out of order today, not on purpose because it was up to 1 o'clock this morning. So I appreciate them in the office. Number 79. Is he the CEO now of MSNBC? You know what Al Sharpton said this morning on MSNBC? He was on there, and I'll tell you what it was referring to. But they are swooning over him at MSNBC. I mean, they are following down the hall. They are kissing his black onyx ring. What'd you think I was going to say? Really? You thought I'd say that? They're kissing his black onyx ring. Um, he said this morning, 2 wrongs don't make 1 civil right. Wow, what was that about? All right, a little more on the elections. Does it pay if you want to run for office to hire one of those high-powered political consulting groups? Actually, I'm not laughing, but I am. I watch these campaigns hire these people and I sit back. We'll talk about that when we return and look at some of the other runoffs around the state. I'm your host, BKP. It's time to work on how to put black voters in the back in the Democrat box. Much more. Take us out of here for a minute to a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
As Georgia opens back up, it's time to come back to Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings on the North Georgia Mountain's biggest selection of pre-owned vehicles. All makes, all models, all with low miles and a super low price. Or buy new and get 0% financing for 84 months on every single Silverado 1500 or Equinox at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Find new roads.
Hey, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, we got a lot to go over this morning. We're talking about elections. You know, I do watch, and I want to, you know, I'm going to tell you something. Give me a call. All right. Just say like that. I don't endorse candidates, but I'll be glad to talk to you, because if you start telling me the endorsements you're trying to achieve and or get, and you start telling me the political consultant group, I think that's broken now. I think that cycle is broken, because Andrew Clyde, who came in second. Now, you're going to tell me number 82. Give me 82 real quick. Matt Gertler. You're going to tell me, well, he has a political consultant group. Little different. Okay, little different. Okay, a little different. Number 83, Andrew Clyde came in second there. We're going to be in a runoff. I really don't know what political consultant group he had, but there's a clique in Georgia, okay? And I understand every state has the clique. There's a clique in Georgia that has been built as a political machine that people can't see past the noses on their face to see that that is crumbling and not being accepted anymore in Georgia. Now, I'm serious. I get it. All right. So let's stay away from that for a minute. Here's something I want to talk about just for a minute, because it will not get talked about nationally. You know, yesterday Joe Biden was on the and they're working to try to put right now, give me number 2. They're working right now to try to put the black vote in America back in the Democrat box. It's out. Okay. It's out. And I want to talk about that in a minute, as far as George Floyd. The George Floyd for many is over. You and I know, if you go out and you say something and it doesn't sound 100% supportive, like you would take a knee for George Floyd, you may pay for that, your opinion. So there's a silent majority that, okay, enough's enough, and we'll get to it, okay? Because when this one little ugly mug rears his head, everybody in America knows something's bad wrong. All right, so number 2 here, Joe Biden got 556,373 votes. Now, here's what I want to question, and I'm going to move on. If you're a Democrat, could you send me a message right now, you Democrats, in the Democratic, I get in trouble with Democrat. Could you, one of you Democrats, send me a message now and tell me why, if your presumptive nominee is Joe Biden, if it's a done deal, okay, and he is the Democrat presidential nominee, well on his way to appointing Val Deming, the recent mayor of Washington, D.C., is auditioning. Governor in Michigan, Whitmer, is auditioning. Stacey Abrams. But anyhow, why you would drive to the polls and vote for anyone else. Now, yesterday in the voting, I passed over 3 offices. I'm not going to vote for the person. I passed it over. Why did Bernie Sanders get 69,431 votes in Georgia? Why are all of the talk and the polling have President Trump down to Biden 14-7 nationwide? And why would 148,000 or 141,000 people in Pennsylvania just a week or 2 ago go pull the lever for Bernie Sanders? Why in red Georgia, as we'll call it, they want to say it's a purple state, but why in red Georgia would 69,000 people go vote for Bernie Sanders? Elizabeth Warren even got 12,000. Andrew Yang got 6,700. Michael Bloomberg got 5,188, right? Number 3, Bennett got some. Peter Pan Buttigieg got 3,741. Tulsi Gabbard. Amy Klobuchar got 2,500 votes. Why would they? I wish the Democrats would answer that for me. Why would all these other people get votes? I know they're still on the ballot, but why? I'm telling you, will the people, the question I want to leave you with, will the people that did not vote for Joe Biden yesterday in the Democrat Party, will they come out and vote in November? What percent of 69,000 right up to 70,000 Bernie Sanders voters yesterday will stay home? How many will come out and vote for Trump? How many will say, I can't vote for Trump, but I sure as hell ain't voting for Biden? We know the truth. We know Biden's been there 40 years or whatever, and he's done nothing. We know all the flip-flops. We got that written down. Joe flip-flopped on this. Pay attention to this. Don't pay attention to the national polls that they continue to manipulate to try to get you to believe that the American people want Joe Biden to be the next president. Now, let's start another segment, okay? Let's start another segment, and let's talk about putting the black vote back in the Democrat box, okay? Now, I'm just going to show you a couple things here, okay? Number 79, and this is not a joke. I'm not making fun of this. Number 79. Anytime this man shows up, okay, the reality of feeling that something really is changing and it's for the best totally just evaporates in the air. Anytime this guy shows up, give me number 878. George Floyd laid in rest in Houston, all right? Now, MSNBC and the rest of America, CNN, but MSNBC, they are kissing this guy's ass like you would not believe. They just are. I don't know if he's not just went in there and said, okay, look what I've done. I am now going to just be the CEO of this news network or whatever network, clown show. Okay. Now, let me explain a little bit of Al Sharpton so you don't have to go take, you can take time later to do some research. He has the let's see, the National Action Network, okay? The National Action Network. So what they do, this is the king of flim-flam, shakedown corporations. So a major corporation, okay, something happens and, let's just say, I don't know, we'll put what happens in a box, but a major corporation, something happens and, somebody feels their civil rights are violated. Well, the next thing you know, this corporation has a $20 million lawsuit, right? $20 million lawsuit. And then all of a sudden, the attorney representing the individual, this does happen, or the group of individuals, all of a sudden the 20 million, they go in and say, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring 20 million down to 5. And my client's going to get 2 million. And then the next 3 million, here are a list of minority nonprofit groups that you can make a donation to. And by making that donation, we will go with 2 and 3 million in donation. Right there's the guy. That's how they're funded, okay? Go look. Now, after it's done, okay, do the research. After the shakedown is done, Then it's like, it's like, I guess what you want to call it, the mafia payoffs. Then you have somebody come by once a year and pick up your check. That's right. So a guy like this piece of garbage, America's piece of garbage, okay? He is despicable. He is a piece of garbage, okay? America's piece of garbage here, what they do is they go around to these corporations and they say, you know what? We could leave you alone. Really? Exactly. You talk about Donald Trump and his gang style. Donald Trump is all I hear on MSNBC, his mafia style rhetoric, his anyhow, all right? No, they go around, okay, being the National Action Network. This little weasel, this piece of garbage goes around and they say, we could leave you alone for X a year. And they do it. And then if there's a lawsuit coming up, they call Al, somebody's looking to sue us. I got you covered. Let me see if you're paid up. Yeah, you're paid up. Yeah. No exaggeration, no joke. That's how this piece of garbage works. This morning, he is all things to all black, to all Democrats, to keep them in the box. They are looking for Al and James Clyburn to put them back on the plantation. Number 77, number 77, George Floyd laid to rest in Houston. Now we're going to mix these two. We're going to mix our poisons here. Number 76, Joe Biden, white, old, crusty dude who once had it out with Corn Pop. He pre-recorded with funeral music behind it, the funeral piano behind it, remarks to be played at the funeral. He met with the family, kissing the black onyx ring. Number 75, do you support or oppose protests following George Floyd's killing? I support it. 75. All right, now let me get to something else because we're going to get into that at a different time. All right. Number 69, group assembled. Trump loses ground among key voting groups. All right. Then we have another one there, number 66. I'm going somewhere with this. Biden continues to lead Trump in national polls. Number 63, George Floyd's brother will testify today on Capitol Hill. Who doesn't want to miss that riveting testimony from his brother? Okay. And number 62, Washington readies to grapple with policing reforms. So what are we getting out of this? Now let me keep going here. I'm not done. Let me get this. So let's look at number 50. Let's have number 50, okay? Now leave it there, and I'm going to give you another one, okay? And I want you to be able to go between the two back and forth when I get them ready. So I got number 50. I got another one that I really want to make sure we go back and forth on this one. I want number 50, write this down. Number 25 to be ready, okay? And 50, 25. I got another one here I really want. 50, 25. Sorry about that. Let's go to 50, 25, and I'm going to be ready right now. And 23. 50, 25, and 23. Somebody out there saying bingo. All right. So let's stay with 50 for a minute. Okay. Now, millions Now you keep in mind here, this is not playing, folks. It's not, okay? The night the video was released of the police officer with his knee on George Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Everybody's taking an 8 minutes and 40-second. I just want to see the dumbass that thought they could hold their breath underwater. Where's that video for 8:46? But anyhow, okay. So on that night that it was released, okay, the video, America was unified. I mean, I'll never forget the strikes in the first Gulf War. The polling data for George H. Bush was through the roof, right? Unified. I'll never forget the George W. Bush after 9/11. The polling data of unification, or in this country was through the roof, unified. And I'm going to tell you, I can't remember, I don't recall the last time that the country was as unified with, there's something wrong here. Let's talk about this because there's something wrong. This has to get addressed. And it evaporated in days. Quickly it evaporated. Now there's no true polling right now because we white people, one, surrendered, or two, white, black, and Latino. Okay? All three have evaporated our George Floyd feelings. We're sorry George is dead. And they've gone away because they caused us to realize most everything else was a lie. And what would that be? Let me tell you something. If police showed up, now look at this auditorium. If police showed up to arrest a hairdresser in Texas and actually take this individual into handcuffs, okay? Now listen to me. Into handcuffs. And take this individual to a judge and place her in jail to where the governor of Texas had to say, get her ass out of jail. If police showed up, okay, to talk to a woman and say your daughter was seen going next door and playing with their daughter. I know, but she's home now. Well, we're not going to keep coming out here and giving you a warning. Then what you see on the screen, we don't have the reporting of a SWAT team, okay? What you have on the screen should have required law enforcement standing outside, shutting it down, all the above. And then you see, America sees this, and then they see number 23. And they think, oh, now I get it. Now I get it. Give me number 25. Look at that. Now I get it. And you're sitting there, and almost everyone in America, March, April, May, for 90 days, almost everyone in America had a family member or friend that died. Yes. You have family members that died in car accidents and friends, I'm sorry to say. You have ones that just died of any kind of accident, died of cancer, died of COVID-19, died of pneumonia, died of flu. You know somebody in the last 90 days that has died, maybe even a mom or dad, aunt, uncle, first cousin. And you could not respond by getting on an airplane, because we were condemned if we got on an airplane, and flying somewhere and being with the family. Now, most of America, now look at this here. Most of America that I know is as soon as you hear about a family death, a close death of a brother, a sister, your husband, the kids, everybody immediately says, I'm on my way. I have the car packed. I'm headed to the airport. Within mostly 24 hours, everybody assembles at one house in America. I think it still happens. And we come in and, and we hug each other and we cry together. And emotions. And then we all go together down the funeral home, make arrangements. I'm going to end this, okay? And then there's the viewing or visitation, whatever you want to call it. And the family stands there tirelessly at night for a lot of people. It shakes hands and thanks people for coming and paying their respect. It's still in America. We go and say, sorry for your loss. And then there's the funeral and the burial. Millions of Americans are looking at this on the screen, 25, and saying, George, I'm sorry, you're dead. But something's bad wrong here. Something is bad wrong. Number 26, why I have you. And then you're looking and you're saying, wait a minute. This guy here, number 67. So wait a minute. We have an economy that collapsed. We have this virus. The virus is gone. Now, what if the other day, instead of peaceful protesters being removed, what if, how would CNN and MSNBC reported if the White House would have sent out a statement and said, we're calling in the troops to disperse the crowds due to the concern of coronavirus? Give me number 64. Okay. See the crowds? That's the Lincoln Project, 64. Okay. What if Trump would have come out last week and said, I am going to bring up the National Guard, deploy them because it's too important. Our economy has collapsed and we just cannot stand by. We just cannot stand by and watch people that don't know what they're doing. Because remember, all through COVID-19, they were doing best for us. The best thing for us. The Democrats were the best thing. Fauci, just go home. Stay in the house. We know what's best. So if Trump would have come out and did a COVID-19 update, what if? Let's just put it here. And you remember the things that's Comey and Tom Wolf in Pennsylvania, Cuomo up there in New York, and Tom Wolf in Pennsylvania, and Dim Whitmore, the governor of Michigan, and what if the guy out there in Seattle and the guy in California, and Pritzker of Illinois, governor, what about all of those things that they would, the mayor of Chicago, they would send the police in if you're gathering in churches? What about all of their hateful rhetoric? What about all of their statements? What about all their threats of sending in military, state police and different groups in the state to stop and shut you down? That was okay. So what if the night that the church, St. John's Church at Lafayette Plaza, what if that day and all of the protests and rioting, and we didn't see the social distancing, what if Trump would have went into the press office and had Fauci and Dr. Bricks or Brick or whatever her name is, had them and had some charts and graphs, and had Fauci stand up there at the podium like this and say, what we're seeing now will definitely triple, and we'll have to stay in our houses another 9 years if you don't get it under control. What if they had done a coronavirus update and tell the American people the risk that was being taken? And then say, we will, if you don't go home and get in your damn house immediately, and if you don't social distance, and if you don't stop at the closest store, put a mask on your damn face, we will send in tear gas, the troops, anything to save your life. What if they'd have been saving lives? Hell, you say. But nope, let me tell you something. Here's my opinion. Here's my opinion flat out, right? When you see number 23, and then you see number 50, America knows something don't add up. 2 and 2 don't add up. Where's Fauci? That's right. Don't fall for these polls and how far underwater Donald Trump is. Because the American people see, smell a rat, and this piece of garbage, Al Sharpton, anytime he comes out. We'll take a break, come back. Let's talk a little more about politics, elections, what's coming up, Georgia Secretary of State, how the Democrats are monopolizing on it, who won some local elections, who it paid off for to hire a political consultant, who it didn't, whatever. We'll be right back.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, one nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
As Georgia opens back up, it's time to come back to Day Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings on the North Georgia Mountain's biggest selection of pre-owned vehicles. All makes, all models, all with low miles and a super low price. Or buy new and get 0% financing for 84 months on every single Silverado 1500 or Equinox at Day Chevrolet in Jasper. Find new roads.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, I'm going to stay a little bit in Georgia for just another minute until our 9:30 slot here. So let's stay in Georgia, and I want to look at some things and break some things down. Okay, now, did Club for Growth work? Did it work? And let me say this, okay? Did it work? Because when the election cycle started and qualifying in Georgia took place, we were all, and you're tired of hearing it, we were all ready for our good old-fashioned run and gun, because if you're a conservative, you got to take a picture with a gun, run and gun primary. Go, 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 gadget. But coronavirus put a screeching halt, and people had to change the way they were campaigning. When these two guys got into the race, I felt they were dividing the district, 20 counties, but dividing the district in a way they could not overcome. And actually, I ended up being correct. So look at number 1. Kevin Tanner, the third vote getter, okay? So let's just do our math here. And not saying it would have totally happened this way, but may have been close. So let me get my quackulator out. And my quackulator says Kevin Tanner got 17,746. And John Wilkinson got 13,147. That's 30,893 minus 30,893. So 30,893 minus 24,953 is a difference of 5,000. Stay with me. 940 votes. So if you take Kevin Tanner, okay, if you take Kevin Tanner's vote count, state representative from the from the Georgia State Representative 9th District, if you take his votes and you add them to John Wilkinson, State Senator 50th District, you get 5,940 more votes than Matthew Gertler. Now stay with me. Pay attention to this. You get that vote count, 5,940. Now, who figured this out other than me? Sorry, I didn't go to bed till way after 1 o'clock this morning, got up like 4:45. So bear with it. Who figured this out other than me? I like that. All right. Who figured this out? The Club for Growth, right? Remember, Matt Gertler went to Washington, D.C., and he met with several groups, one being the Club for Growth, and he was honored or humbled. I forget what's the exact word, but he was honored the day that they decided to endorse him. And they took their political action committee, all right, a PAC, political action committee, and they mailed out, I have a couple here. They mailed out a couple flyers. Now, there are two different ones from the Club for Growth, but both of them put Kevin Tanner and John Wilkinson's picture on there, right? This one here, Kevin Tanner, John Wilkinson are one and the same. Two faces, one secret scheme. They are one and the same. Higher taxes for us, special favors for their friends. They picked those two, right? Because remember, the two together, Wilkinson and Tanner, would have come up to 30,893 votes. Well, they did. Almost 6,000 more than Gertler. Now, would they have totally swapped votes? If you are a John Wilkinson voter this morning. If you went and you voted for John Wilkinson, very good man, dear friend. And he would not have run, would you have gone and voted for Kevin Tanner? Vice versa. If Kevin Tanner would not have run, would you have gone and voted for John Wilkinson? So the point being is, when the two got in the race, okay, Gertler's not an outsider, but he's definitely running in a different lane than these two. Paul Brown, which did very well, I mean, friend for years, Dr. Paul Brown, he did very well. 13. I know he's not happy he didn't do runoff well, but, and then you have John Wilkinson, and then you have Ethan Underwood. Now, with 9 in the race, okay, with 9 in the race, I knew there would be a lot of votes. Can Clyde make up about the 4,000 difference to get there? So I'm just saying, in the beginning, Wilkinson and Tanner should have had a talk. And somebody, if Tanner would have ran and had Wilkinson's endorsement up in Stevens County and Habersham and up in his area, you may be seeing Kevin Tanner in a runoff this morning. There you go. If Wilkinson would have run and had Tanner's endorsement, there you go. So I'm just saying here how this played out and why maybe Matt Gertler ran in the lane between the two of them that he needed to run. We'll see how the runoff goes. Now, Gertler's in a lane, and I'm going to say this. Andrew Clyde is in a very good position this morning. Matt Gertler's in a good position financially with his campaign and his support staff and the ones in D.C. But Clyde, a very sleeping giant. Yesterday, I did not, and I'm going to move past this, okay? I want to get into a couple more local races. Yesterday, I did not, okay? In this race, I was cautious when people asked me how do you see this going? I was cautious. I was cautious right up to this week. And I'll tell you why. At Saturday, I went up and I said, I think his name's Ed Henderson up there in Raven County. How do you see the race? I said, I'm going to tell you. In the past, I've always been able to zoom in and get a feel for it. I could go out to campaign events and people watch and see how people responded to speakers and what voters showed up and who seemed more engaged with what candidate. And when you do that 7 days a week, you could start getting a feel of who is pulling away and who has the big mo behind them. In the last several months, you've not been able to really put your finger on that. But I went up to 4 candidates last Saturday. And I said, I did 4 or 5, but I went up to 4 candidates in the 9th district, at least 4 of them. And I pulled them aside and I talked to them. I said, let me ask you a question. I can't get a gauge on this rate. I'll just tell you, I can't. How's your campaign getting a gauge? How do you get a feel? And they started saying, well, by the amount of people that send us a Facebook message saying, I watched your commercial, the amount of people that are texting us, whatever. But they started explaining, okay, how they were getting a feel. Now, I ran into a couple of candidates that said, I feel good, but they left a gap in their reasoning why. So I went to Andrew Clyde. I met him Saturday and I talked to him, Matt Gertler, several others. And I came home and Sunday, that was Saturday, Sunday, I bothered people. I want to apologize now. I tell people I get help. One time I text somebody a question on Sunday, which I love the individual and we're great friends. And I texted an individual on a Sunday afternoon one time with a political question. And immediately I got back. It's Sunday. It's family day. No politics. I said, I get it. I sent an apology real quick. Like, I'm sorry. So Sunday afternoon, I made some phone calls. I went on what the candidates told me, and I made some phone calls Sunday afternoon. And I started asking several people, what's your feeling? What's your feeling? Okay. And then I had interviews scheduled Monday. At two of the interviews Monday, Matt Gertler, okay, Dr. Paul Brown, and Andrew Clyde. So after I finished the Gertler interview and I finished the Andrew Clyde interview, I went and I started Monday afternoon and I made about 5 phone calls. And I said, am I supposed to say dark horse? Not dark horse. I don't know. Sleeper. And I said the sleeper to all 5 people is Andrew Clyde. I did. I said the sleeper is Andrew Clyde. I'm going to say went to something Friday before last for Kevin Tanner. It had to feel like people that were there were told to be there. Okay. Didn't have a feel of grassroots enthusiasm that wanted to get out the vote. Okay. Could not get a feel. I've listened to Kevin. I like Kevin. Could not get a feel of engaging with the right voters. Kevin seemed to be more engaged with his endorsements than the voters. And I say that. And he may have been more engaged with the endorsements, hoping the people in different counties, hoping they would be the ones to go out and engage with the voters. The strategy looked like. So anyhow, that being said, I called him the sleeper that would come in number 2. And I don't want to, I 1 or 2. I didn't actually call the 1 and 2, the horse. I mean, I did put $2. I did put a sawbuck. I put a sawbuck on Gertler and Clyde, and I boxed it. $2. I want $2. I want Clyde and Gertler to show. I took Paul Brown to show or place, whatever. Anyhow, so that being said, we're going to see what happens in the runoff. We've invited them to be on the show. We're going to spend all afternoon trying to get runoff candidates on the show for in the morning, and we will start doing that. I know they were up late. I haven't heard back from Gertler's campaign, but Andrew Clyde will be on the show tomorrow. Now, a little bit of a local update that I want to do, okay? I want to do Gilmer County real quick. This was number 4. This is going to be an interesting because it's going to be number 4 there. Ken Roberts, 566. Michael Parham, 899. Norman Gibbs, number 3, a impressive 1484. This was really a 3-way race with only 2 people can be in the runoff, but this is for magistrate judge in Gilmer County, hot race. So it's interesting to see who Ken Roberts, Parham, and Gibbs may endorse, because there is Reagan Pritchett only about 50 votes behind Kevin Johnson. So that one is going to be an interesting in Gilmer County. Now, number 5. Thank you. Okay? Thank you. T-Splost vote in Gilmer County went down in flames. Chairman Charlie Paris may say he's glad today, but never forget he participated in putting it on the ballot. It should have never had to be voted down. So don't fall for what Chairman Charlie Paris in Gilmer County tells you that he's happy it went down. Don't fall for it, okay? There was a plan in place. I watched them all sit at the table to split up the pile of gold. Anyhow, T-Splost, Gilmer County, voted down. Love it. Now, here's one in Fannin County. This will be interesting because I don't know if anybody will endorse anybody here. But number 6, commission chair, incumbent Stan Helton and challenger Jamie Hensley will move to a runoff. Stan Helton, 1,554 votes. Vincent Davis came in fourth. Okay, Bill Simons, 1,312 votes. And Jamie Hensley, 2707. Let's see, 15, 27's 1,000. So right at 1,000 votes, is it right? Would it be? No, 15, 1,000 would be 2,500. Yeah, so Jamie's got, what, about a 1,200 vote lead here. Who will Vincent Davis endorse? Who will Bill Simons endorse? Will they go ask their voters to go vote for another candidate? We will see the runoff. But let me just highlight something, and I'll try to say it without too much. I will try to see how it. This is Stan Helton. He is the commission chair. He is in the runoff. Stan Helton, number 59. Okay. And he is in the runoff, and we'll see what happens there. And here's number 61. This is Jamie Hensley, number 61. He is about 1,200 votes over. Do I have 61 in there? There you go. He's about 1,200 votes over Stan Helton right now. Okay. Now, let me say what I said from the beginning. Number 60. Okay. So this is Vincent Davis. And from the beginning, all I kept hearing people say is he's a nice guy. Okay. Someone look at the camera and say, Vincent, you're a nice guy. But I think you hired a campaign coordinator. You hired a campaign manager, did you not? I think you did. I think you hired a campaign manager. And I think you totally avoided, FetcherNews.com totally avoided us. And you came in last. Just wondering. Wonder if any of those pieces will go together. Wonder if your campaign manager, I don't know, maybe ask for a refund, Vincent. It didn't work out. Come in last. Supposed to get a professional camp. I'm just saying, Vincent. Just saying. Not trying to be mean or anything. That's beyond me. So we have number, come one more time there. We have number 6. So there, Jamie Hensley will be. And here is one. Get ready. He's been trying to win. Wait a minute. Go get ready to go to number. Don't go to 7 yet. This guy's been on the ballot. He's tried to win several times. He has asked for your vote. He has actually hired political consultants in the past. But finally, he is elected. He won his race. Finally, this guy has got over the hurdle of getting the W. Not only is he the police chief of Blue Ridge, he is now Post 1 commissioner, taking the place of Earl Johnson. Number 7, Johnny Searcy. Johnny, you're up, man. You're up. Let's see what you're going to do. This is your chance. Don't screw up. This is your chance. I'm your host, BKP. Let's take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to get back into the national campaign, national look at elections as soon as we return.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, one nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We're going to sit back today. I have it looks like a double espresso here. I had to have some very strong coffee. I got some sweet tea. My Ingles cup. I saved my Ingles cup. Wow, you should never do that when broadcasting. Take a big drink like that, but it's a Marco Rubio moment. And we're going to back up, take a nap this afternoon, get up fresh, and listen for the spin machines today to try to explain. I go online during the breaks, and I'm watching and reading the posts all around social media with people trying to figure out everywhere what the actual status is of the votes and who actually won or who is in a runoff that's happening, and it will be a spin all day long. Now, I've said this, and give me number 8, okay? And I did get up and watch CNN and MSNBC this morning, as I usually do. I didn't want to, but I did. And I wanted to hear and see if the networks were going to jump onto the Georgia successful, pun intended, right? No pun intended, right? Whatever. The Georgia successful election results last night, and sure they did. What words would they use? Who would they bring in? I'm for sure they'd find Stacey Abrams last night. Number 8, Georgia election day chaos raises voter suppression concerns. Well, now that's number 8. And then number 10, Georgia voting chaos leads to uproar. An uproar. Number 11 on MSNBC. There's the pictures. They went and got pictures. Here's another uproar picture for you. Number 12, MSNBC. You see, if you just left the line, if you got tired, now this is not a protest, this is a vote. If I was out there, let me ask you a question. Look at number 13. I wonder if you could poll them and see how many in the line. I would have went down the line and said, how many of you participated in a peaceful protest? Right? Look at that line. Now, they may have peacefully protested for hours. They may have drove 2 hours to another state to get in a protest. They may have been to 3 protests recently. They're probably Grateful Dead type protesters out there. How many have you been to? This is my 5th one this week. I'm a pro. I got signs. Right? I'm serious. But if you're tired, if you stood in an election line, I've been here 15 minutes. My legs are hurting. I'm going to leave. Oh, no. They left without voting. Suppression. I'm going to tell you they're going to say anybody that left. Number 14, Secretary of State office opens investigation into poor planning by county elections. Oh, man. Number 14, Raffensperger threw that on who? Fannin County? Gilmer County? I showed that earlier. Let's look at that. Secretary of State opens investigation. Will they be investigating Gilmer? Let me just to do it. Number 57. Okay. Number 57. 6 polling places in Gilmer had to change their closing time. That was 57. 58. Fannin County. Right? There you go. Now let's go back to 14. Secretary of State office opens investigation into poor planning by county elections. Would that be Chuck and Marianne, my friends, Brad? Brad, are you going to come up here and investigate my friends? Are you going to investigate my friend down there, Gilmer County, Tammy Watkins? Are you going to do that, Brad? I don't know. Throwing it off. Now, is DeKalb County a disaster, Fulton? Yes, they're disasters. Okay. Number 15, Stacey Abrams, Joe Biden slammed Georgia officials for voting problems. Georgia deserves better. Capitulate. Is that how you say it? I will bet you Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State of Georgia, will continue his policy. Republican Secretary of State will continue his policy of Democrat ass kissing and giving them and doing anything they want. Oh, look for the absentee ballots well on the way. Maybe he can fix that. Increase the turnout in absentee ballots, right? Number 16, Stacey and Joe, Georgia's deserve better. Now, here is a statement from the Biden campaign. Biden campaign responds to Georgia voting chaos. The chaos. Free and fair elections are the cornerstone of our democracy. Oh, my God. Hold on. I got to have a shot of tea. Cornerstone of our democracy. What we see in Georgia today, from significant issues with voting machines to breakdowns in the delivery of ballots to voters who requested absentee, are a threat to those values and are completely unacceptable. We only have a few months left until voters around the nation head to the polls again, and efforts should begin immediately to ensure that every Georgian and every American is able to safely exercise their right to vote. Thank you, Brad Raffensperger. Stacey Abrams, number 18. Already had that up there. Let's go back. Okay. AJC, number 19. Total meltdown. Number 20. Georgia election catastrophe in largely minority areas spark investigation. Minority areas. Here's another one. MSNBC enjoying their day 21. Chaos at Georgia polling sites prompts voters to turn away. All right, here's another one, number 22. I like to show you these little bylines. They put Joe up. Voter suppression concerns, okay? Now, voter suppression in Georgia, and let me just show you number 23. George Floyd laid to rest in Houston. This brother has had more network. I mean, he's a miniseries. He's had more network time, and he's had more. I'll just say, okay. So let's see what else we have here. Hold on this. I thought I had some CNN shots. Wait a minute. I want to see. I thought CNN got in on this morning, or maybe they didn't. Hold on. Here's another one. Politico, number 51. A hot flaming mess. Georgia primary beset by chaos, long lines. What the heck is wrong with me this morning? Probably won't get into that. Probably can't get into that. Let's see if there's anything else. I have to get this next segment in, but I thought CNN, I guess CNN doesn't have, I didn't have anything on CNN. So we'll come back to Georgia elections tomorrow morning. Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State, and what it means for November. Remember what I've always said. November, if you think you were up late last presidential election, you might have to get something to keep you awake for 72 hours in the next one. And that's probably a short period of time. Because I've said election night in November, possibly too close to call, and no results because of things like mail-in ballots, maybe. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about reforming the police. Oh, yeah, that's necessary, right? Take a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
As Georgia opens back up, it's time to come back to Day Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings on the North Georgia Mountain's biggest selection of pre-owned vehicles. All makes, all models, all with low miles and a super low price. Or buy new and get 0% financing for 84 months on every single Silverado 1500 or Equinox at Day Chevrolet in Jasper. Day Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Find new roads.
All right, folks, we're back on BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Tomorrow, I will schedule today some guests tomorrow to try to see what direction they're headed in the runoff in some of the races. Something that came in at 8 o'clock and I didn't put up, I forgot to put up, but Congressman Doug Collins has made a commitment. He has signed a term limit commitment. Now, I want to get with the congressman, and I want to ask him the question, why? Because he has committed, like Senator David Perdue. Now, if David Perdue is elected this second term, he will no longer seek an office 6 years from now. He said 2 terms. Well, today at 8 a.m., I received a press release from the Collins campaign that said he would make a pledge to only serve 2 terms. So in the past, the congressman has always said that the voters are the term limits. So I want to see why 2 terms is enough, but that announcement. All right, so we have what's going on. Let me go over some polling data that MSNBC is trying to run today. Number 75, do you support or oppose protests following George Floyd's killing? Okay. Now, there's been a lot of people that have glossed over George Floyd, the man, the father, the husband, or maybe the dad or the father, not the dad. There's a difference in father and dad. We'll get into that one day. Maybe some have overlooked that George was not a model citizen, okay? He was the baby daddy, and he left a 6-year-old daughter. But I would like to see more about that relationship. Maybe George is not quite the man they've made him out to be as they have done the George Floyd national tour. So 74% support protest, okay? All right, let's go to another one, 74%. Number 74. Are the recent peaceful protests justified? Now, are the recent peaceful protests justified? Well, 84% say yes, they're justified. Where is the poll that says, are the recent riots that burnt down minority businesses in inner cities and has drove away jobs for Black Americans like Al Sharpton and others love to see happen so they can continue to put the Black vote back in the Democrat box? Where is that poll? But 84 justified. They're justified. Number 73 is the killing of George Floyd. The killing of George Floyd is isolated incident, sign of broader problem. 69%. It's a much bigger problem than just George Floyd. Why it is? It's not an isolated incident because 7,000 Black males are murdered every year. 7,000 Black males are murdered every year, and only 2% have law enforcement involvement. So it is a broader problem. It's the problem that just nobody's talking about and nothing they are offering, okay? Please remember, when Democrats talk about reform, and we'll get there, almost done, 72, okay? Big problem. Is racism a problem in our society today? Big problem. 67%. It's a big problem. Somewhat of a problem. 22. Small problem. Not a problem at all. I'm going to say somewhat of a problem for 300 Alex. But it wasn't a big problem until Barack Hussein Obama became president and divided this country as we know it now. 71, 8 in 10 Americans, number 71, 8 in 10 Americans believe the recent peaceful protests are justified. Now, who is affected the most, and it's not a coincidence. You don't have to read between the lines of what I'm saying. I think this is a total setup from A to Z. A to Z. Soup to nuts. My friend, I had a friend that everything was soup to nuts, and I didn't know why the hell it had to be soup. Yeah, from soup to nuts. What the hell? All right. So anyhow, A to Z, I believe it's all a setup. Maybe I'll remember what I was talking about a minute ago. Oh, guess who? Let's go here. Let's go to the domestic terrorist, number 23, Al Sharpton. Okay. Now, Al Sharpton stood in front of a crowd yesterday that should have been dispersed by SWAT and local police for the gathering of over 50, not 6 feet apart, and not wearing a mask. Well, then again, they weren't looting, so why go through the hassle? Oh, did you just call George Floyd's funeral goers looters? I don't know. It could have. Number 25, right? George, look at the church. And look at the sister. Preach on, brother. Preach on, brother. Preach on. Brother, bring it on. Anyhow, here's the point. Okay, I got 10 minutes left. Black America has been most affected by what? The coronavirus? Has that happened? Let me see something here. Number 80. Wonder what's making a return. An oldie but a goodie. Are we preparing wave 2? Are we? Number 80, Washington Post, 14 states and Puerto Rico. All right. Average new coronavirus infections. Let me see what I got here. Hold on there. Why, that could be something that's getting ready to happen right around the corner. Hold tight. Let me see. I mean, we may be having our setup for our second wave. Get there in just a second. I'm not going to get to everything. So I have a lot of pictures and the young ladies I call them young ladies. I don't know if I say anything wrong. They are in the office saying, why do you send these pictures if you're not going to use them? I got it here. I got it. It's getting ready to happen. Okay. Wait just a minute. Wait for it. So I just showed you the one. Here he is, number 67. Fauci makes a return. Okay. Dr. Fauci said, my worst nightmare. This is Fauci's worst nightmare. Okay. All right. Number 68. Number 68, Dr. Fauci, COVID-19 turned out to be my worst nightmare. And Joe's talking to Al Sharpton, and Al Sharpton's trying to calm down the black community. Look, we're going to have to separate here. We got, people seeing what we're doing here. This could have a backlash. They hate the word backlash, okay? But this could have backlash on us as we're trying to put black voters back in the Democrat box. So what we have to do is we got to be real careful. So this guy right here is talking about the crowds in the protest, that they just couldn't help but to come out. They couldn't do nothing about it. But this guy had the nerve to open his black mouth. Oh, I despise him. I'm sorry. He causes me the closest to just, he said, 2 wrongs won't make 1 civil right. What the hell? And they all swooned over it, okay? They all swooned. Here it is, number 70, okay? Corona hospitalizations rise sharply in several states following Memorial Day. Let's see. I'm trying to get a grip. What happened right after Memorial Day? There's a spike. June 10th is today, Memorial Day. In that window, George Floyd got killed. states reopened, and thousands flooded the streets with no social distancing or mask guidelines. Fauci said, my worst nightmare. To me, it's all a setup, folks. Every bit of it. It's wave 2. They are getting ready for wave 2, okay? Let me say this as I close this morning, okay? I want to show you a couple more. Just a quick question, because this goes together. Wave 2, all right? And give me number 24. Biden calls for racial justice during emotional George Floyd funeral speech. We've got plenty of time to break down what Biden really is about, okay? And then give me, we're getting to it. '40. Washington readies to grapple with police reform. Okay. Let me tell you something, Black America. Every time somebody in Washington, D.C. works on reform, it's to reform your ass right back into the inner city, as far and deep into the plantation as they can get you. If you were anywhere near the fringe of thinking on your own just 2 weeks ago, they are beating you back. I don't care if you like it, you call that a racist tone or statement of some kind of racism. They are beating you back as deep into the inner city as they can get you. All right. 41. No, not 41. I don't want that one. They're going to use George Floyd's brother, number 42. They're going to use him. Okay, he's going to testify on Capitol Hill, make an emotional plea. Number 43, Congress scrambles to create police reform legislation. Police reform legislation. You know, when I was a kid and you see the cops, I don't care how you put it, we'll just call it like we did. Here's the cops. We straightened up. Because the last thing we want to do is a cop take that, baton and beat, smack you across the head with it or something. And then you didn't want them to call you dad. You did not want to go to jail and have them call your dad or your mom for even, because they'd come down and beat your ass again. But now if a cop pushes you or shoves you, pretend you fall, lay down, take the lay down move, and then find a lawyer. And then you want to strip the cops from some sort of immunity of the slip and fall protester that goes, whoa, and finds a lawyer. Really? Oh, all right. 45, at least 11 cities and municipalities, Congress scrambles to create police reform. At least 11 have already done that. Look at Broward County. Would that not be the county? Wouldn't they have wanted to do that police reform before a shooter killed those kids at Parkland? Number 46, Dems unveil sweeping police reform legislation. Ban on chokeholds. Okay, we'll go with that. National Police Misconduct Registry. Always going for the registry. Incentives. Now that's one, incentives for states to mandate racial bias training. Now, let me say this, and then you can attack, because I only have 2 minutes left. Have we already had in America anywhere that we gave white officers a different test than black officers? Have we? Have we had anywhere that we were trying to get more, don't attack me, more minorities into maybe EMS or fire departments, and the tests were different, altered, so maybe they can get more in? I'm just saying, just ask yourself and see if that ever happened. Nothing like incentives. Anytime you see incentives, that is we'll give you X amount of money. Maybe we'll give you money like the Heroes Bill, but this is going to be different. We'll give you money. You can use it in a different way. Like Planned Parenthood gets government money to not do abortions, but to use them for abortions. Just saying, just saying. All right, folks. Anytime, let's leave with this. I can't get to the conspiracy theories today. I can't get to that. I can't get to Donald Trump's tweets. I could care less. I just want to say, America, anytime this shows up, number 79, on your screen, anywhere you're at, the up and up, well, there is no up and up because he is a domestic terrorist, flim-flam, shakedown king. And we keep letting him get away with it. I'm your host, BKP. It's Wednesday. I have to tell myself that. We'll be back Thursday. Have a nice day. Election results right after these messages, right? Yeah, really. Mañana.